Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. It's time for, well, another announcement. They've gone ahead again and come up with another route based on a train simulator, or train sim world route. And here we are in Train Sim World currently at Leeds Station. If this doesn't give you an idea what's being announced, well, I can't help you. Because they've only, the DTG I should say, has only done one route in the Leeds area. That particular route is the Transpennine from Leeds to through Huddersfield to Manchester, Victoria, and well, lo and behold, that's what we're announcing. That's what they're announcing today. I shouldn't say we. I'm not DTG, but that's what they are announcing today. So there is a route now on the way from Leeds to Manchester, Victoria, and vice versa. Manchester, Victoria to Leeds through the Transpennine, coming to Train Simulator Classic. So we have that to look forward to. I have come to Leeds Station to pick up a train, a class. I'll leave which train it is secret for now until we actually find the service. I don't know if it's here yet or not, but let me see what the service is over here. I'm going to cross the track because, you know, that's what I do. So climb up. Here we go. Who are you? What service is this? Let's find out. This is, oh, it's a class 47. I don't want a class 47. I should know that's a class 47. I know that's a class 47. Why am I clicking on it? I'm a silly goose. Okay, let's find the correct platform. I don't even know what the correct platform is, and we're going to find the service hopefully arriving in a moment. Actually, I need to cross these platforms. So is there a staircase, just to be fair and proper? Yes. Yay, let's go upstairs. And let's see if I can find where I want to go. There's no indication which platform I need to be on, which is extremely annoying. So I'm going to head down here to platform 8. I have no idea which platform I'm going to, guys. I honestly don't. I see a train over there. Let's see if that's the train over there. In any case, yeah, this is the fun of Train Sim World 2, trying to figure out where your train is coming in and catching your train. I honestly don't know where it's coming in. What is this? This is okay, I want to go the other side because this is the end of the line, so let's see if this is the train I'm looking for. This is a 101. I've earned a reward for opening a door. Let's see what service this is. I want to see what service this is. This is the... Okay, I'm not going to be able to find out what service this is. I have a feeling this might be my train. This is a 101, so I've kind of given away that I'm looking for a 101. This might be my train. It is heading in the direction, I believe, of... if I look at the map, it is heading in the direction I want to go. There is another train over there, a couple trains over here actually. I don't know what they are yet, so I'm trying to find out. But this is going in my general direction. I have a feeling this could be my train. If I can find a indicator, we'll find out. What we're basically doing today is we're taking a cab ride from Leeds to Manchester, Victoria. That is entirely the objective here. So I'm going to be going all the way over to Manchester, Victoria from Leeds. And that's a 47. I don't want a 47. I'm going to use the hop across method here. Yay! You are in the yard. There is no way you are my service. If you are my service, I will be shocked. But hey, it could be. No, I'm going out on line F, I'm pretty sure, if I'm going to go to Manchester, Victoria. So it couldn't be this one. Oh, hi. I rolled the window down. Okay, let's close this, please. This is just coaching stock, so I don't want this at all. This is definitely not the road. So I think it is that service over there. I'm going to go ahead and get into the cab for that one. We're going to see if the driver shows up. We'll know if we're on the right service. So let's get over to that 101 pretty quickly because there's not a lot of other trains here. I can't see it being anything else. So I'm pretty sure this has to be the one that we're going to be taking. Let's see if there's a... Well, there's no signal yet, so it's not allowed to leave anywhere yet. It could also be a train coming in somewhere that we haven't picked up yet. So this is the fun of playing as a on-foot person. There's lots of people who are waiting to get on board, so it must be this train. I don't see why it wouldn't be. We'll see if the door is open. So I got about a minute and a half, I think, to go. I think it's about 11:41 the train would take off. So let's just see if these doors open and if this is the... Why are you waiting at the driver's door? You're not a driver. You are not an engineer. Do not try to board the driver door. You're not going in a cab. Okay. You're a lovely lady, but you're not going in a cab. It's not allowed. Not allowed. You're not allowed in the cab. Sorry. I'm guarding the door. You can't go in. What are you people staring at down there? So here we are on board the luxurious Class 101. We're waiting to take off towards Leeds. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do this with you live. You see I've got the door closed right now. You can, of course, maneuver through the doors and sit in the seats and do whatever you want to do here. So if I want to sit here, I can do so, which I'm not going to do. Apparently, didn't want me to for some reason. So we're going to head into the cab. We're going to get ourselves set up. A driver will be along shortly. I'm not sure who's on today, if it's Stan or if it's Emily, but I did see both of them on the timetable. I'm pretty sure one of them is going to show up in just a moment. So we're going to get ready to leave here. Danger! Overhead live wires. Thank you for the warnings. So we're going to see in a moment who's going to join us. And it's going to be in about 3 seconds. So let's find out who pops into place. And there's Emily. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you. You're going to be our driver today, huh? You see the things have lit up over there, so the buttons are indicating doors are open and such. Don't glare at me. Come on. So I'm going to set myself up in a position here. I could sit in the second man seat, but I'm not going to have the best view because I'm going to have a split window here if I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and crouch using C, and I'm just going to go ahead and park myself. Actually, you know what? The center window looks perfect. Ooh, how are you? So we're going to go ahead and just center ourselves view out the window, and this is going to be our view out the window today. So don't mind the white dot in the middle. That's the person's control scheme. I can't do anything about that. So let's get ready for our journey from Leeds to Manchester, Victoria. This will be done in 2 parts. And the reason for that is very, very simple. It's because I feel like doing it in 2 parts. It's a 1 hour plus journey. Huddersfield is about the midpoint of the route, so we're going to go ahead and break at Huddersfield, and I will continue the journey from there to Manchester, Victoria, which we'll then bring up at a later time. I may want to add some other sections in editing as well. So there's our green signal. We're on our way out of Leeds. We're going to be passing the location of the old Leeds Central Station. There were actually 4 stations in Leeds dating back to 1847, I believe, for the first of them, or something along those lines. I might be remembering the wrong information. But there were multiple stations in Leeds. I remember something about 4 stations before it all just became this one Leeds station, which is all there is now in Leeds. So Leeds Central was one of the Leeds stations. There was a Leeds News Street at one point. Yeah, I don't know what they all are, but there were multiple stations. So as we go through Leeds Junction, the first thing we're going to see branching off, I believe, is the disused Leeds and, Doncaster and Leeds line. I believe it's a disused line. And the reason I believe this is the disused line is because there are 2 lines that head off from Leeds. And their second one will be following behind. That is the one that actually goes through Holbeck Depot Junction. And Holbeck Depot itself through Engine Shed Junction. So this is, I believe, the disused line right here. We're traveling on line F, by the way. There are 6 lines lettered A through F. A is to the far right, and then, of course, over to our line, which is F. So there's the disused Doncaster and Leeds line heading off in that direction. Also, Canal Junction was back in the Leeds area as well as we left Leeds. So Leeds Junction is basically, I think it's labeled as the other side of the station, I believe, but I believe there's a Leeds Junction on this side somewhere as well. Anyway, that line is definitely the line that goes to Doncaster. That line does go by the Holbeck Depot, and that eventually does go through Humslet Junction, south of Leeds, and that's about as far as we can go on this route, and I presume about as far as we can go on the TSC version as well. We'll see when it comes out. We're now merging with the line coming from the Doncaster area. So Doncaster avoiding Leeds will take the path you see to the left right now. There's another path heading off connected to that. That is actually a different route. I might be getting my lines mixed up here. I'm zooming out a little bit here, and I'm actually thinking I might be mixed up. I think the line that just branched off to the left is the one that goes to Wakefield Westgate. We are now taking line to the left ourselves. There's another line going off to the north that continues through Kirkstall Forge, and there's another local line that leaves through Burley Park as well. So there are a lot of lines coming out of Leeds. It's a very, very busy and confusing area if you don't know where you're going, which train you need to get on. If you get on the wrong train, you could wind up anywhere coming west out of Leeds. Excuse me. For those who have been following my coverage on the South London network, by the way, I mentioned that I was coming out of COVID, and I'm even further out of COVID now. So I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm not coughing as much, but I still have my spells. So you are going to get me coughing once in a while today. I don't want to sneeze for you, obviously, because that's even worse. But I figure coughing is somewhat okay. It's going to be a long drive and a lot of commentary. I'm doing this live, so there's not much we can do about it because I would have to retake it over and over and over. I want to try and avoid coughing. And because things can change, like camera view and such, I don't want to try and do it as multiple shots and try and piece it together. It's just a horrible editing job. So there'll be a little coughing. Sorry about it, guys. We are going through Copley Hill West Junction on our way to Cottingley. Cottingley will be our first station here. I don't know what the stopping pattern is for this train, as I have not actually driven it myself. I haven't really driven anything in Train Sim World yet. I've just been driving the Train Simulator Classic ones. But I also noticed, you might notice a little spot of lag there. I know that I usually get a lot of lag on Train Sim World 2, so I haven't been wanting to drive it yet. I'm probably going to try to milk the settings to my favor before I try and do a lot of driving in this particular game. By the way, I'm also looking at Train Sim World 2, not Train Sim World 3, which means that I don't have the enhanced weather effects on this version. That's okay because this is a Train Sim World 2 route. There's not a lot of things that will be updated on this route yet in Train Sim World 3 anyway. So I'm okay running this one here. The only thing that would really be updated from what I understand, having watched another streamer's run of one of the routes, he mentioned that the lighting effects, like the sunset and things like that, would carry over. But I'm doing this midday, so you know what? Who cares? I'm doing it midday. There would be some better effects on the train, for sure. I'm sure there would be, but we can live with this. This is fine. It is a Train Sim World 2 route. We'll run it in Train Sim World 2. So along these left curves, we're going through Fernley Branch Junction. Fernley Branch Junction is another disused line. I don't think we even see that line here. But it did go to the Fernley and Wortley Ironworks, and that was where the line terminated. So it wasn't a very long line. It was just basically a freight service related line. Like I said, that line is now no longer in use. And as we come to past where that line originated, as we turn towards Cottingley, that's where we see the Fernley Junction. That's another line that goes through Gildersome and other locations beyond that. I don't know a lot about that particular line, unfortunately. But it did eventually connect to Gildersome west from another line. And as that particular line would branch off to the right in the old days, we're going to continue. Actually, I take that back. It would be branching off to the... Yeah, it would be to the right. I can't read my map. It'd be branching off to the right. As it does, we would take one more left turn. But I have a feeling we might have already gone through Cottingley. I might be a little late on the map here. So we might have already seen Cottingley because we are coming to a right turn ourselves, which would take us towards Morley. That is the first big right turn. So I think I'm a little bit behind. I need to get caught up here. We will just be going by the White Rose Office Park just before we hit this curve. And we are now definitively on the Huddersfield Line, as we are now officially turning away from the route to, I believe the route that I'm thinking of takes us to Wakefield Westgate. That's the route we're turning away from right now. This is a 24-hour timetable. This is one of the trains on that timetable we're passing. It looks like another Class 101. I don't know the timetable well enough to tell you exactly which service that is. In fact, this is my first time on this route, so I don't know any of the services on this timetable. I could have taken a picture and I could have guessed. We could have played along, but oh well. We just finished our long right turn. We're starting a left turn, which takes us into Morley. And it feels like we're making a stop here at Morley. Actually, it looks like we have a red signal ahead. You can see the solid horizontal bar there. That means we do have a red signal. But I think this is just a train sim world way of doing stops. If you're scheduled to stop somewhere, the game doesn't generate beyond that because it can cause errors with other trains. So once you've made your stop, then the signal will clear. So the doors are opening here at Morley Station. And in a regular run, this is what I would normally go to, like a number 8 view, and I would try to get a view outside the train. But unfortunately, because I'm using a crouch position out the window, I'm in first person view. I can't actually go outside the train unless I'm sitting down myself. Then I can look outside the train and move around wherever I want to in the free cam, getting views of the train that I'm riding on or driving, as the case may be. In this case, I can't give you those views without losing my camera view here. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay here with you and in general. And when we make stops, I'm going to see if I can skip ahead some of the cameras, so some of the times, so you don't actually have as much time sitting. But I'm going to use this particular time to explain that. Now you can see that up ahead is Morley Tunnel. The signal just turned green for us. We're about to leave. So up ahead is Morley Tunnel as we leave Morley. Morley Tunnel is a very, very long tunnel. So as we go through Morley Tunnel, we're going to be heading towards Batley. I don't know if we're stopping at Batley, but that is the next station I'm going to be calling out after the tunnel. And I think the tunnel is longer than what you're seeing on the screen here. That tunnel probably just hasn't loaded everything past that tunnel exit yet. So I'll see you at the end of the tunnel, whenever it is. And for right now, while we're going through this tunnel, let me cut you to the announcement information itself, and we'll take a look at just what is coming up in the Train Sim World Classic version of the Huddersfield Line. Alright, let's take a look at this announcement while we're going through that tunnel there. We are looking at the new Huddersfield Line, which is coming soon. It was announced today as I'm recording this, and you're seeing this the next day because I said I'm going to make this by Tuesday video. You're going to see the next South London Network video on Wednesday. So keep in mind there is a schedule change to get this video out. The next South London Network video will be Wednesday, not Tuesday, which is today. So let's take a look at what we have. The challenging and stunning Pennines are coming soon to Train Simulator Classic with the new Huddersfield Line Manchester to Leeds route. One of the busiest lines in the region with local and long-distance passenger service, the Huddersfield Line stretches between Manchester, Victoria, and Leeds, calling the various towns and villages in the Colne and Tarn valleys of West Yorkshire, including the major intermediate station of Huddersfield itself. A treat for rail fans, this route from Dovetail, I think the grammar is wrong on that. A treat for rail fans, comma, this route from Dovetail Games for Train Simulator Classic is represented as it stands today. Ooh, complete with modernization and current track layout features, including the impressive state-of-the-art rebuilds of Manchester, Victoria, and Leeds. This route also features a wide range of rolling stock, including the Regional Railways BR Class 158, fully equipped with features and sounds from... excuse me, having a little cough. I think I'm just overreacting to this. Fully equipped with features and sounds from Armstrong Powerhouse. So this is the AP Class 158. This is not the standard one you see with Suburban Glasgow and a number of other routes. This is the AP Class 158, and I have a feeling this might make an appearance on other routes in the future as well. We'll have to see. But the almighty BR Class 142 Pacer, 4 flavors of BR Class 47-8 in various liveries, coaching stock, and more. Now, the 47-8, I wonder if this is the one from the Virgin Trains Pack. I've not actually shown the Virgin Trains Pack on my channel yet because I need to get to North Wales Coastal for the scenarios for it anyway, I believe. I think that's where those scenarios take place. So if I'm right, then we'll have to get to North Wales Coastal before we can check those out. But I wonder if it's the same Class 47 from that pack. That would be of interest to me if that is the case, because I've heard that is the most accepted version of the Class 47 among all the ones that are available on Steam. So if that's the one that's in there, that's a good development as well. That would be really good. So that bodes well for the coaching stock. And I guess the 142 is probably the one that's included as a standalone, so it's probably going to be bundled with the route, I'm guessing. But the other two, I believe, would come with the route directly. So that's what I think is happening. We're getting the route plus the 142 bundle, and everything else is included. So that's what I think is happening there. So the Huddersfield Line Manchester Leeds is coming soon. 2 Train Simulator Classics. See the first screens below and the one above, obviously. And 2 new railways. So we're going to have a stream on Wednesday. I'm going to be putting on my regular South London Network video for the week on Wednesday. But we're also going to have a stream later in the day as well. So definitely, I'm going to definitely probably join you guys at the stream to see what this looks like. I'm curious to see more about this displayed myself. So there is... that's an we can see the 47 in the foreground there. Now, since I'm doing the drive today on the train sim world in Class 101. The 101 obviously does not come with this. Neither does the Class 45. So I'm just trying to remember offhand. I don't want to keep mentioning those. I'm trying to avoid mentioning those because I know they don't come with the route. But you can drive them on this route, I'm pretty sure, as well. So if you have those trains, you can pull out the peak. You can pull out the old clankety-clank door and bring them out. I know one particular workshop user and person who looks for all the Class 101 scenarios because he used to drive a Class 101. So it brings back good memories for him. So if you have a 101 scenario for this route, put it out here, and I'm sure he'll be interested in driving it. Because I'm sure he's going to be very interested in seeing what you put out with the 101 on this route. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I think it's someone named Chris who that is. But in any case, here are the screens. We're seeing them right now. Can I do a full screen on these? I don't think... Oh, well, that's the best I can do, apparently. So there's one of them. There's another of them. And there's a third. That's another 47. And I'm not sure offhand what viaduct that is, but I'm sure we'll figure that out over time, which viaduct that is. Someone may know. Feel free to punch it in. The higher store's 7. So I wonder where 4, 5, and 6 are. They must be further down. No, they're not. They just got skipped for this article. Okay, and up here was just the coming soon image. So yeah, we're going to talk more about the trains in this DLC. I'm going to be doing a 2-part video on this preview. We're going to stop at Huddersfield when we, as I mentioned already, when we go back to the... come out from the tunnel. We're going to continue to Huddersfield, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop there. We're going to take a little break there, and after I go through the next series of South London Network videos on Friday and Saturday, so Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday coming up this week, you're going to get another preview of this on Monday because I do intend to launch this on my channel on Tuesdays. So I already had the South London Network videos number 6 and 7 taped, recorded, ready to go. We're pushing those back for a little while. We're going to go ahead and get Huddersfield Line in here, and we're going to go ahead and publish those ahead of the South London Network, the older stuff. But the nice thing is when we go back to South London Network for those other 2 scenarios, we're going to be able to go straight into the 455, which was my plan, then head right back to South London Network for the next 3. So we're going to get an unplanned nice little break from South London Network, and then we're going to go back and get a lot of additional South London Network content added on after that. So we are going to have still a 10 video playlist starting out early on South London Network when we're done. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take us back to the cab view, and we'll do some more discussion on Monday beyond that, because I've already pre-taped the cab view, so nothing else you're seeing is going to be taped after this. This is my last recording for this video. So we will talk more about this announcement on Monday about the trains and that. I want to do some more research on this myself and see what the stream has to do. In the meantime, let's get back to the cab ride. Welcome back. We've just gone ahead, left the Morley Tunnel. To our left, as we left the tunnel, Howley Hall Golf Course was located in the area next to the left of the tunnel. Above ground. We also went under the M62. We're now heading towards Batley Station after this little curve. The Adwalton Junction line used to connect here approaching Batley. That line is now another raised and removed railway. So it would have connected somewhere on the straight section coming up. Would have actually crossed over in some way. As it then would have merged on the left. So the area is now just, well, whatever. Now between here, there's actually another station nearby, Staincliffe and Batley carriage signs. I believe that no longer exists. I see it listed on the map near Batley. This would have been after Batley. So I did miss a new station that is being proposed called White Rose. That is somewhere after Cottingley. I missed that, and I don't know where that is on the route. I wouldn't be indicating any way, but I did miss that at some point before Morley. So that's another thing I meant to mention I didn't bring up. There it is. You now have it. We are now stopping at Batley, and I will see you on the other side of this stop. Leaving Batley, we're heading next towards Dewsbury, which I believe is going to be a stop, but again, I don't know the stopping patterns, so I'm just guessing Dewsbury would be a stop for this train. Along the way, we will be passing the Staincliffe and Batley carriage sidings. I do have a general idea where those are, so I will be able to point those out as we go by them. It's actually going to be between this right turn and the upcoming left turn, so about halfway along, maybe a little past halfway along. As we get into the left turn, we're going to be passing the location of those old sidings. So we'll keep an eye on that up ahead. Just to see if there's any indication of the old carriage sidings. I don't think there would be, but you never know. Yeah, it looks like it would have actually moved off the line by now to the right. So yeah, it looks like the carriage sidings do no longer exist. You can see that fence around probably where it would have been coming back in. So I think this is where it would have been joining back in to make the left turn. Where I take the back, there actually seems to be an old line heading towards Dewsbury Central, which no longer exists either. So the old Dewsbury Central station is actually along another abandoned area. A lot of these old buildings, by the way, are still up. They just are used for other purposes now. Some of them are even listed buildings, so they can't even be removed. They have to stay exactly as they look, but they can be used for whatever other purpose inside. So you have another right turn. This is bringing us into Dewsbury itself. Dewsbury is neighbors to another place called Westtown, which is going to be to our right as we leave Dewsbury Station. Dewsbury is was to our left as we came in. You can see there's actually a scenario indicator there. So it looks like we actually have a scenario on the route that starts here on platform 2 at Dewsbury. That is one of the, or it might be a tutorial. It looks like it was a education cap that we had there. So it might actually be a training session that begins here at Dewsbury. We'll look into that in the future when we actually explore in Train Sim World. I actually want to see if I can get to Train Sim World 3 before I start actually playing it. That way I can show you all the upgrade views and how you leave tunnels and things like that. In any case, I'll see you on the other side of the stop here at Dewsbury. The doors have closed. We have started moving, so we are now on our way from Dewsbury, heading towards, I believe Ravensthorpe is the next station. Again, I don't know if it's a stop, but it is the next station. After Ravensthorpe, we are going to be coming up to Murfield, and then the former site of Bradley Station before we come to Dayton and Huddersfield. So those are the stations that are ahead on the line. So Ravensthorpe is the next station we're going to be seeing. Westtown is to our right. And more of Dewsbury, I believe, is to our left. Boothroyd and Flats are also named areas in the area near Westtown as well. So a lot of named areas. We have a double yellow signal, so that means that we most likely are definitively going to stop at Ravensthorpe because there's probably a red at the end of Ravensthorpe platform. As we continue along, we're going to cross under the old Liver's Edge branch, which connected at Thornhill Junction. There's actually two routes at Thornhill Junction, besides the main one that joins us at Ravensthorpe. So there are actually 3 different routes coming there. At Thornhill Junction, there was also the Mineral Railway, and it also no longer exists. So both the Mineral Railway and the Liver's Edge branch no longer exist. That over there, I believe, is the main line that's going to join us at Ravensthorpe. You see we have a yellow signal right now. The line is coming on the left. You can see the trees flanking the line. Again, this route is not part, I should say the Thornhill Junction section The route might go up to that far. I don't know how far it goes towards Thornhill Junction, but it certainly does not go beyond to Wakefield Westgate at all. And I'm sure that this can be the same for the new route as well. However, the Doncaster route from Leeds does go through Wakefield Westgate. I don't think it will be long before that route is simulated on a merged route with the Doncaster line. I would not be surprised to see that. It probably will not take long. So here we are pulling into Ravensthorpe right now. You saw the sign there on the left as it went by. A nice little line crossing stairway here. This is a nice little stairway. You got a good picture of a train coming to a stop or taking off, as the case may be, on that stairway. I'll see you on the other side of the stop. Leaving Ravensthorpe, our next stop is likely to be Mirfield. I did forget to mention one more thing as well. The path from Thornhill Junction that took the line over, that no longer exists, also went to Bradford Exchange. There is services from Leeds that still go to Bradford Exchange, but the alternate route has been removed through Wakefield Westgate. So any services from Wakefield Westgate now have to go through Leeds to go to Bradford Exchange. So you can see that the line from Thornhill Junction has now fully joined us. Looks like something might be coming in from there because I do see a yellow signal there. I'm not sure if there's some 101 services that take that line and do a partial service. I do not know this. In any case, if there were to be, we would pick it up at the next station, which would be Mirfield. We would then take it to Manchester Victoria in that case. Or whatever distance they cover. They could end at Huddersfield for all we know. But on the current timetable, I know there are services from Wakefield Westgate to go all the way to Manchester. I think some even might go to Liverpool. I'm not 100% sure of that because I don't have that in front of me right now, but I know there are services that at least go to Huddersfield and beyond. So, yeah, there are services that definitely go from Wakefield Westgate on this line in the present day. That line is used. Now, as we come close to Mirfield, the former Heaton branch, I believe is how I read that, the Heaton branch, will be joining us at Heaton Junction, which is right around this area as we make the left turn, just before we enter Mirfield. I should say it's a right turn, not a left turn. So this would have been where it joined. You can kind of see where it juts out there. That, I believe, is where the line used to join in. And now the line goes, one of our lines goes towards another platform. We continue on to this platform. Looks like there's someone there waiting for us today. Or he's heading off. He's going in a different direction. And now someone's coming back, maybe the same guy or woman. You may board. You have a ticket? Hop on. So arrival at Mirfield, and we're going to be in the main town of Mirfield is off to the right. I'll see you again after the stop. Leaving Mirfield, our next stop, I believe, is going to be Dayton. Now, as we leave, you're going to see a line heading straight off ahead of us as we take a left turn. That is actually the YG03 timetable, the route that is used by the YG03 timetable in the present day. That timetable starts at Bradley Junction, which we're going to be passing. It includes Heaton Lodge Junction and continues to Bradleywood Junction. So this entire triangle is part of that timetable. That line continues to another set of junctions through Brighouse Station. It eventually goes to Greetland Junction and Milner Roy Junction, where the route ends, but there's also a turn up towards Dryclough Junction, which is another end. So it's a very, very small section of railway. Not a lot of services use it on the timetable. That route eventually ends up in Halifax, which, by the way, another name that we stole here in Canada. There's a Halifax, Nova Scotia. So that's one of the names that we borrowed. Thank you, UK, for giving us Halifax, Nova Scotia. mean, we were a British colony, and I think we still saw the Queen as our Queen until 1982 or 85 or something like that. We were still under the British Constitution or something like that in some aspects. That formally ended then, and we are literally now on our own path. But we're actually taking the northern path. That's not what I was expecting here. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I misread this. No, the straight line actually continues to the left, and we go under the straight line or over the straight line. So we're going to be crossing that line right now, taking our left turn. I misread the way that was a line. That was my fault. So that was Heaton Lodge Junction right there. We're going to now be crossing Heaton Lodge South Junction. And now we're going under the line to Bradleywood Junction. Now I believe Bradley Junction has joined us, or will be joining us shortly. Actually, I take that back. No, this is where we merge in at Heaton Lodge South Junction, so we're still not at Bradley Junction. Looks like there's a walkway or something over there on the left. I'm not sure why, but there is. That might be a railway that was pulled up. So we should be crossing Bradley Junction now. I think the line has now rejoined us. If I'm wrong, you'll see it coming in about 5 seconds or so. But we are making a left turn now, which makes me think we are back on the main line. You can see a double yellow signal, so that means we are going to have a signal at the end of a platform here. Red signal, most likely. Our driver's being a little extra cautious here. Actually, this is Murfield right now. Or Dayton, I mean. This is Dayton right now. So the double yellow is probably referring to Huddersfield up ahead. That's where the red signal is. So we have a double yellow coming into Dayton. So it was a stop. I, again, misread that, as I tend to do. I knew that was a right turn, but I just misread it. Anyway, we have one more stop at Huddersfield on this part of the journey. I'll see you on the other end of this one. Leaving Dayton, we're going to be passing the Leeds Road Sports Complex, which ironically is not because it's in Leeds, but because the road is actually called Leeds Road. The road doesn't even go by Leeds, it just turns into Cooper Bridge Road before it becomes the A644. So there you go. So the Leeds Road Sport Complex is over to our left somewhere. You can look it up sometime. Also, another branch came in, the Kirkburton branch came in as we entered Dayton. That line again no longer exists. A lot of removed lines here. There's yet another line that would be joining us at Red Doles Junction up ahead, if not for the fact it also no longer exists. So our next stop should be Huddersfield. So that line that I mentioned no longer exists at Red Doles Junction is called the Newtown Goods Branch. It actually would be going alongside the track right now, I believe, as it junctions. In and out, I'm sure, and then it would continue off to the right. But again, we don't have that line here. We now have a double yellow, so I'm not sure what the other double yellow was for. But we now have a double yellow. Maybe there was a train ahead of us, I don't know. We're taking a bit of a left turn right now as the Newtown goods branch would be leaving us. That branch did not last very long, by the way. It would cross Bradford Road and eventually end somewhere. I don't know exactly where it ended, but it ended. Probably an industry line. We're going to be crossing the Huntersfield Railway Viaduct. We've also gone by Hill House at this point to our right, I believe. Excuse me. We should be crossing the A641. We did see the single yellow signal, so the next signal is at the end of Huddersfield platform. We're now pulling into Huddersfield proper as we cross a circular roadway that goes around the station and some other areas and some other roads that connect to that. We are crossing over that entire mixture right now as we pull into the station itself. So I can imagine this is a very, very busy area. I know there's another line that comes in from the south as well with some additional services that ends at a terminus platform coming from the other direction, or coming in the other direction, ends at the station. I believe that's platform 6 or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, this is a terminal platform. I thought we had a different service on the one that we're on. So it looks like I actually got onto a service that terminates here at Huddersfield. So it looks like I'm not going to be continuing. I'm going to be leaving from here, I guess. So I will be terminating here at Huddersfield. Let's get out of the train and let's take a look around as we finish this initial look. So I was not expecting to come in via platform 5. That was a little unusual, and I was not expecting that at all. Huddersfield was our terminal station. I had no idea that was even going to happen. So that's basically the end of that scenario as a result. You can see the red signal at the other end, so this train's going to be sitting here for a little while. So yeah, that's basically that. Those doors will eventually close, and that's going to be the end of that for a while. Emily's going to go to the staff room and take a break. I'll probably go up and join her at some point. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just wrap up this video right here. And we're going to see you for part number 2. That I'm going to have to find a service that starts at Huddersfield now and continues south, because that's going to be the other half of our journey. Now, since the Class 45 and the 47, well, 47 is not stopping. It's a freight service generally, but I think it does have some passenger services here. Since they are through services, I want to see if I can find another 101, but I am tempted, there goes Emily. I am tempted to go ahead and actually do a Class 45 just for the sake of showing you Class 45, the peak. I have not done it in Train Simulator yet. I do need to at some point, but I'm tempted to show it off here just to show you what it looks like in Train Sim World before we actually look at it in Train Simulator. I might do that. Just co-op a service on the way through. But if I find another service and another 101 that starts at Huddersfield, we're going to stick with the 101 because it's just fun riding in a 101 for some reason. Whatever the case may be, I'll see you for that other video. In the meantime, my South London network coverage will continue, and I will have more coverage of this announcement before the route actually comes out, and then I will be playing the scenarios from this route in Train Simulator Classic as the route releases. So make sure to stay tuned for that on my channel. I will be showing that off, as well as a second video here on this particular route as well in Train Sim World. So a lot of stuff coming up just for this route on my channel. I am going to be putting off my Class 455 coverage. So that was planned for the period where this releases. That's no longer going to happen. So I will see you for that when the time comes. But in the meantime, stay tuned for a lot of Huddersfield Line coverage. I don't know how many scenarios we have yet. I think it's like 6 or 7, but we will look at them as soon as I can. See you for the next preview in the meantime from Huddersfield to Manchester, Victoria, next time in Train Sim World 2. I'm Cyclone. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a nice day, or evening, or night.